Am I allowed to shuffle this one? I'll get in trouble. Hello, I'm Natasha Khan, also known as Bat for Lashes, and I'm here to look at 5 historic tarot decks with you and share my insights about them. Ooh, I won't tell you what I got because it's crazy.
So these are from Italy from around 1490.
Wow, they're amazing. What first strikes me is this gold leaf. It's like embossed into the card. I also love how big they are. For me, they seem like exceptionally detailed and beautiful. I think my favourite is death. People are always frightened of getting death in your reading, but actually, as a Scorpio, I'm a fan of the death card. It's usually a good sign that you've come to the end of a cycle. In death, there's fertilisation that's then going to give rise to the seed of new life. The tarot has been used over the years as a form of divination and as a sort of telling stories and delving deeper into people's psyches. It creates a ritual for me where I can ask it questions, see how I feel about certain things that come out. I thought it was interesting that the star in this very, very old 15th century card is quite different to the more modern depictions, which is a woman with a pitcher of water and the star, and she's naked. In essence, a very feminine card about projecting your unconscious dreams into the celestial space. Whereas here it looks like a man with a crown, a more masculine feeling. It's lovely to see this early depiction of the star.
These are French cards. They're from around 1840. People were getting a bit more into divination.
There was a lot more seances and table tapping. It was so beautiful. Oh, I love it. You can really see the handmade nature of this, textures and lines. The paper feels really soft and worn. Decks get better the more you use, the more character and energy they hold. I really love the way they've depicted that because the Wheel of Fortune in the more modern cards is this wheel with different animals in each corner, but this one's doing this lovely thing of these cycles and roots and trees. I love this. I've got a lot of crows in my deck, so I feel like dark birds looming. So I made my own deck. It's called the Motherwitch Oracle deck. I made it in lockdown in 2020 when I was pregnant with my daughter Delphi, the oracle herself. There's a big crow here. This is the Queen of the Harvest. She's the queen of sort of fertility and new life, and she's holding a giant rose, but in the background there's still a crow, which means that with new life there's still the letting go of something. Wow, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Now I'm jealous and I want them at home with me.
These are from around 1840. They were made in Milan and they're a form of the Marseille deck.
That's so beautiful, look. This, I don't know what this is, maybe it's the Ace of Wands. I like that also it doesn't have any numbers or words on there, just this tree trunk in a hand. The Ace of Wands is like energy and creativity and the start of something and a pointed focus. I really love the howling dogs and the lobster because I feel like it seems like Salvador Dali had a go at this card, but it's not that surreal because it's linking to the tides and you know how the moon controls the tides in the ocean. The traditional tarot to me is quite patriarchal. I think you can modernise the way you read that, the masculine and feminine energies, but my one, for example, like around the fire, there's angels and witches and crones. There's depictions of feminine archetypes that have really held and nurtured my psychic spaces. It happened to be all women, like Grandmother Tree, Woodswoman Valley, The Nourishing Feast, Tornado Girl. In my deck it happened to be that way, that it was this maternal, matriarchal, feminine balm that I wanted people to feel because I felt that the mother energy was lacking somewhat in these older decks and other decks I'd seen. Thank you.
So you probably recognise these ones. They're a deck by Pamela Colman Smith. They were first printed around 1909.
I guess this is the most recognisable tarot deck, I would say. Pamela Colman Smith was the illustrator and made all these amazing images, but it came out as the Rider-Waite tarot. I think in recent years she's been recognised and heralded more as the collaborator on this deck and someone who had a huge part to play. I love how bold the colours are. It's starting to get much more simplified. Here's that Ace of Wands that was a big tree trunk in the last one, and now I love that it's a hand coming out of a psychedelic cloud. Thank you. So this is much more modern.
These are a more contemporary tarot deck that were made in 2011 for a touring show by the Hayward Gallery. And each artist picked a different card from the tarot deck, and then they were asked to reinterpret that.
Is this the Ace of Wands? It's come up a lot, and this is a staff with, looks like a iris or some kind of flower. I love the painting in the background. I think that's really beautiful. It's funny because I'm not immediately seeing what they all are, even though it's based on the traditional tarot. There's a real freedom to that, and your own interpretation is even more nuanced and specific to you. You find in imagery what your subconscious really thinks, but that you might not want to admit to yourself. There's something very honest about it in that way. Spirituality always comes when we're told that things are finite and black and white and this is right and this is wrong. There's a bit of cultural backlash to that, where people want to dive into the mysteries and believe in the unseen things. There has been a rediscovering of wisdom and knowledge that's perhaps older, and obviously there's that fashionable, like, it's so cool to be witchy or whatever, but I do believe in this. I do believe that contemplating things and finding stories and telling stories and sharing healing and knowledge is actually really powerful. Great, thank you.